Hello guys, David here and welcome back to another video. This is going to be the second episode in the For What It's Worth series. However, it is going to be the last main episode. Of course, this might be made up of a couple of different parts depending on how far we get in the video itself. But it's going to be the last one of the series in partnership with Jamie Tarantino because he's unfortunately elected to decide to rein in his blogging and stuff like that for the near future. Massive shame, really disappointed because I think the stuff he does is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link in the description below anyway, because they technically still had this one plan before he decided to rein that back in. But the video you'll see, whilst it will make references to him, you won't see the blog for this PSG episode so far as I know. Really, really disappointing because, like I say, the work he does in that field is absolutely ridiculously good. I love reading it. He puts papers on words to paper really well, as I'm sure you'll all agree with me if you've seen any of his stuff. But yeah, we'll be doing this episode. There may well be a second part of this episode of the PSG one that you may have heard about already. But yeah, they'll be done on my channel anyway. So roll the intro. Ignore any of the mentions in the raw files to talking about the blog as well, because obviously not going to be there. But roll the intro. Let's get into it. Good evening, everyone. We bring you a breaking news article right at this moment in time. As you can see, breaking news coming out of Paris this afternoon as the footballing powerhouse Paris Saint-Germain have been found guilty of breaching financial fair play rulings and as such have been handed a hefty fine and the largest possible demotion to the club in the French footballing pyramid. We are expecting a mass exodus of the first team squad. We're still uncertain as to whether the manager Mauricio Pochettino will remain in charge. But the players, as you can tell, are clearly wanting to distance themselves from the club's dodgy dealings, and the club will be starting again in the Championnat National as of the new season. We'll follow this story as the Qatari-invested club attempt to relieve themselves from the financial stranglehold they have been placed in and articulate their journey back to the pinnacle of the French footballing hierarchy. This is For What It's Worth, episode 2. Hello guys, David here. Welcome back to episode number 2 of For What It's Worth in partnership with Jamie, aka the Tarantino. As you will have seen from the massively gimmicky intro, we have slapped PSG with a massive amount of fines, completely gutted the squad, dropped them down to the 3rd division of French football. And the challenge is, because we all think that France is a farmers league, let's be completely honest, it's PSG and then there's a massive gap and then you got the rest. If they weren't in it, it would probably be pretty fun to watch, but they're too good. So what we've done is we've stripped them out of money. They're in administration. They're in the 3rd division of French football. We're going to see how long it takes them to get back and win their first title back in the Ligue 1. We'll go into the squad in a second. Before you do that, though, if you do enjoy this video, please hit that thumbs up button. It'd be very much appreciated, especially because this is a new series on the channel. I want to get eyes on it. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Plenty more stuff like this going to be coming in the future. And right now, let me know how many years you think it's going to take to do in the comments. If it takes more than 3 years, we'll do another episode, and we'll do 3 seasons an episode until it happens, just to see how we're getting on. That'll beef the content up a little bit, won't it? So let's go and have a look at them first. I can confirm that I can't find the right team, so let's do it this way instead. Paris SG, that's why. As you can see, 6th in the French National, which is, I can confirm, the 3rd division. 67th best, most reputable league in the world. They are an administration, as you can see there. They have managed to maintain the managerial plaudits, or whatever word you want to use for it, of Mauricio Pochettino. He is new to it. He's specifically said he wants a challenge. What better way to do it than to stay with the team, even though they've dropped down 2 divisions and are in administration. Marquinhos is still there. There's 1 or 2 other people in there, but otherwise the club's been completely gutted to its core. So, not really much else to tell you, to be completely honest, apart from the fact that they're like £5 million in debt, or might even be 50 million, I can't remember. Not entirely sure which one it was. It's one of the 2. They're predicted to finish first. Let's sim forward to the end of the 1st season. Gonna have a look. Right, so season 1 is finished. I've no idea what's happened. I have not clicked a single button So let's go and see if we can figure out what's going on. We're in the 1st of June. They didn't win the league by the looks of it, because they came second in the French National. So what does that mean? Do they go up still? Okay, so they still got promoted. They weren't great, were they? 18 won, 10 drawn, 6 lost. Beaten to the title by a point by Le Mans FC. Interestingly, Pochettino's still in charge, which is a bit weird. A full host of new gens are in the squad. So let's go and have a look and see if any of the players have stayed. You can only assume they haven't. Marcin Bulka, he remains a familiar name, so he's stayed. He's the only one that has, by the looks of it. I don't massively know this this Paris Saint-Germain side, but I'm pretty confident that a lot of people still aren't there. Can we see transfer history? Can we see who's gone? Cavani, we knew. Yeah, so this is all. The only one that's new is Freud Randuino, and he is a he looks like a new gen that's been placed in because of the side. Obviously, we had to put because we basically gutted out the squad. I've had to put in fake players basically to try and get them through it. So not the best start. I mean, they got promoted, fine, fair enough. That's not the end of the world, but you would have expected them to do a little bit better. Mauricio Pochettino only getting a 51% win ratio, which is surprising, I've got to say. He has had a significant pay cut, you'd have to assume. I don't know what his pay packet was beforehand, but they've gone up the first time I'm asking. Admittedly, not where I expected them to do, or not as I expected them to, but they did manage to do it. Who's this guy? I mean, he's their star player apparently, but yeah, again, well, obviously we can't see anything, so not really giving too much away, but yeah, not the worst start in the world. Go on to season number 2. Alrighty then, it is the end of season number 2, 1st of June 2022. Let's go and see how the guys have got on. Fortunately, we've got a nice little into it because we can click right here on Liga 2 BKT. So let's go and have a look, shall we? Oh, title holders Paris Saint-Germain. So they've won the league on this occasion. Again, it's very close. Where did Le Mans finish? They finished mid-table in the end. So, I mean, well, obviously PSG were going to be the better side anyway, weren't they? They're now into the 33rd best rated league in the world. Or is that in Europe? I don't really. It's probably in Europe actually. Come to think of it. And they've won the league. They won 24, drew 3, lost 11. That's quite a lot of losses. And lost to Le Mans FC at home, which is interesting. No top scorers, no average ratings, no assists, no player of the matches. Yassine Buono, or Buono? I don't really pronounce that. Got the top of the clean sheets list of 15, which makes you assume they're keeping they're keeping it tight at the back. He still scored 58, conceded 32. He's not fantastic, to be honest. And they only went up on the. Oh, they were close. If Lens hadn't lost that last game, that second to last game, probably would have been. Actually, no, they'd have been promoted anyway. They just wouldn't have won the league, but. It looks like they had a pretty decent run of form going into it, so they might not have even been at the top. Can we see that? Can't remember if that's doable. Is it past positions? Is it that one? Here we go. Oh, so they were right near the top at the... Yeah, so they were second. Sorry, no, they were third. And then they won their last few games. So that kind of helped them get through, I think, by the looks of it. Let's go and have a quick look at the club. Poch is still in charge. Yassine Bounou is the key player. He's that goalkeeper we just looked at. Any other players worth noting? Rocky Bashiri, just for the fact that's a brilliant name. Woman from Norwich, Jovanovic, Zito. Oh, Maximiliano Romero. They're not holding out on their money balls, on their money bags, are they? Look at this. Brought in Maximiliano Romero from PSV for a fee of £7.5 million in the 2nd division of French football. That is mental. Anyone else of note down here? Not that I can see. Let's have a quick look at the transfers. They have spent 49.5 million, despite the fact they were in the 2nd division. That is stupid. Yassine Buono came in from Sevilla for 10.25 million. 10.25 million, sorry. I mean, worth it, because look at that rating, but bloody hell. And then a quick look at the schedule. How far did they get in the cup? They got to the 10th round and got knocked out by Bourg-en-Bresse, who are in the league below. Semi-professional team, PSG, come on. Come on now, boys. And that was pretty much it. And then, yeah, a fairly rubbish run into the end of the season. Like you see, well, obviously, as you can imagine, with there only being 3 draws, oh my word, that's a terrible start to the season. They lost 4 out of the first 5 games. Wow. In fact, they lost 6 out of the first 9 games. That's scary. Anyway, they've made it up. So they've got one more chance to try and win it next season. Otherwise, we go into part number 2. Right, we've gone a year on again, so we're into the 3rd season now. We need to go and see how PSG got on in the 3rd season. I don't think they'll have won it. I think it's a bit too soon, but I think they're very, very close. Maybe top 4, perhaps. So have a look. League 1 Uber Eats. They've definitely not won because Lyon won it. Monaco, Lyon double since everything went to pot with PSG, just so you know. Where did they finish? We'll go for the bottom. They finished 10th. It's fairly reasonable, fairly respectable, I suppose, considering it's their first season back. Positive goal difference. Any big wins? They beat Lyon, they beat Saint-Etienne, they beat Saint-Etienne twice, beat Montpellier, Toulouse. They get some pretty decent victories now. I mean, they were unbeaten against the eventual league champions by 10 clear points, so that's still pretty impressive. They lost to Marseille double, yeah, understandable, that kind of thing. To be fair, Mauricio Pochettino still in charge. Their reputation's dropped a little bit. They're still okay financially. Should we have a quick look and see what sort of transfers they've done? Spent a total of another 76 million this summer, which is stupid. Who are the big names? Willian Jose, Jason from Lyon. Who is Willian Jose? I recognise that name. Brazilian centre forward. Not that great though, is he? 26.5 million. You expect a better return than of 9 goals in 25 games in the league. Seems a little bit rubbish. I thought I just saw Milosevic. He's a name that I recognise. Gaetan Laborde, who's left. Well, they did bring in Sebastian Vassiliadis. He was in my save for Leeds last year. That was quite interesting. They brought him in. Oh, they brought him in the free. That's why I didn't spot him. So he did well he did half decent for him in the 2nd division, and then left. I mean, that's pretty decent profit for them. To be fair, you got to say that. Normally, that's not what you associate PSG with. And Romero's gone out on loan to FC Nuremberg. Is it Nuremberg? I don't know. I'm not fussed about that really. So they've not done too badly. Shame we can't see the finances, but I mean, they've spent what 49.5. Plus 76, let's call it 50 plus 75 is 125 million in 2 years, and only one of them they've been in the top division, which is quite surprising. How far do they get in the cup? I mean, look at this is because Football Manager's done its weird I'm not going to sort it by months thing. They didn't get very far in the cup again, did they? They had a big gap where of course that's where the World Cup would have been. Geez, going into the World Cup they had a run of 4 straight defeats, all of which losing by 2 goals. That's bad. Losing 2-1 or 2-0. I wasn't explained very well. It's really not a very good start to the season. I have to check their league position kind of graph in a minute. Knocked out by Strasbourg in the 9th round of the French Cup, which is silly. Why would you have 9 rounds of it? Just do what England do in the qualifying rounds and works much more better. Much more better. Wow. And I mean, yeah, they finished off the season pretty well and then got beaten by Bordeaux on the final day. Would that have changed anything? If they'd have beaten Bordeaux, they'd have finished 7th. You would think, by the looking at that. So they would have been very close to the European positions, but they didn't, and therefore they're in 10th. But not too bad in the end. Let's go and quickly have a look and see how their past positions were. Oh yeah, Len, of course we're looking at Len as well. Yeah, so they, surprisingly, they lost the first game, then lost the second game, drew the 3rd, so somehow they're still going up at this point. They won that one, because I think it goes by the fact they're the away team. Lost to Monaco, beat Strasbourg. They were up in 4th at a point, and they just kind of settled into mid-table after the 13th. So after a dozen games, they were pretty much in the mid-table and didn't really go much higher than that in the end. Like I say, if they'd have won the last 2 games, they'd have finished 7th, but they didn't because the crap. So there you go. After 3 seasons, they've still not managed to do it. Like I say, it doesn't come as a massive surprise. I would have been even more surprised if they'd gone straight up and won it. I think I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go as well as they did, but they didn't win it, and I didn't expect them to do that. So we're going to come back for another episode next Thursday, where we'll go another 3 seasons or until they do it. I haven't decided yet whether this will be something that we will continue to do past another 3 seasons if they still don't make it. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments whether you think that would be a good idea or not. But anyway, in the meantime, that's going to be it from me. If you haven't done already, jump into the description and go and look at Jamie's exceptional blogged version of this. He is brilliant in word form, and I guarantee you will love it just as much as I will do. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, as I mentioned at the start of the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. These experiments will be coming out every Thursday. And if you enjoyed this one, let me know in the comments. And if you've got other ideas that you'd like to see on For What It's Worth, let us know in the comments down below as well. But that's going to be it from me. Thanks very much for watching, guys. My name's been David. I'll see you next time. Cheers.